morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're tuning in. I'm your local shaman, Lady Lighthouse, and welcome to the Light Network. We are continuing our virtual one person reads the book club this week with Saved by the Light by Dannion Brinkley. I read chapters 9 and 10, took a few notes. But I'm just gonna continue the conversation with what we learned so far. So, welcome, welcome to the chat. Any newbies just popping in? Anyone lurking to kind of catch you up where we are? To catch you up wherever we are on the story. So we are a little over halfway, and what's happened so far is basically we've heard the story about how Dannion's been struck by lightning. He went to the City of Lights. He met the 12 beings, actually 13 beings of light. He got like 13 visions basically of what's to come in the future. He was given his mission. He came back. His body was in disrepair, and he's been working on healing himself. And just starting to connect with Dr. Moody, who is the main person who is doing a lot of research on near-death experiences. So he's finally getting connected with him, starting to connect with other people who have had near-death experiences. And so let's jump right in. That's a little background of where we are. So, all right. Okay, so this chapter, it's a new lease on life. So this is actually really where he gets to be interviewed by Dr. Moody. So he had attended a like not sermon. He's not a religious person. He had attended like a lecture hall workshop or lecture on near-death experiences, and he got connected with Dr. Moody there, and then invited Dr. Moody to come over and hear his story. And so it talks a little bit on like how that interview process went, because that's really where this story comes in, is from a lot of these interviews. And one of the things that he points out is that whenever he was being interviewed, when Dannion, who got electrocuted, was being interviewed, Moody was very, very flat in asking the different questions from him. Was very like deadpanned, didn't really give him a whole lot of reaction, and that was throwing Dannion off, because up until this point he had been sharing his story with anyone and everyone who would listen, and everyone was like either looking at him with gasp and awe or like he was crazy. So he was feeling a bit thrown off by someone who just like listened and was like, yep, okay, and how does that make you feel? Like that was very just flat questioning. But he did say the goal of that method of like interviewing was to keep the subject from embellishing their story, so to try to get it as as truthful as possible. But one of the sections that I highlighted here was this really beautiful quote, and I'm gonna read it. And so it says, where do I want to start? Okay, so a little background. He's giving a little background on when he is visiting the beings of light, and how he was able just to get a bunch of knowledge, with because he got to go to the Hall of Knowledge. And I think some places, oh my gosh, what is the name of that? Hold on, let me think. Like the Akashic Records. There we go. Whenever I was reading about him saying that he went to the Hall of Knowledge, it made me think of the Akashic Records. I don't know if you're familiar with the Akashic Records. What I've learned or researched about the Akashic Records are that they're basically a hall of knowledge. You to get there in your own meditation, it's like you're meant to ask your higher self like, and your spirit team first, like, if you have permission to go, and then if so, you can like travel on. Um, I've done a guided meditation there as well, and got to like look at my file and see what information I was allowed to see at the time. Um, I know that there are Akashic record readers. I know someone who does a lot of Akashic record work, but it's anyways. Hall of Knowledge, Hall of Amenti, yeah. So different words, but to me they symbolize a similar thing. So anyways, he said he got there, and he remembers. Okay, I'm just going to read the quote. And he said, "I knew everything in the world and the universe. I knew the destiny of everything in the world, even the simplest things like a raindrop. Do you know that there isn't a raindrop anywhere whose destiny is anything but to make it back to the sea? That's what we are trying to do. We are just raindrops trying to get back to the source, the place from where we came." I just thought that was such a beautiful quote. And that was, yeah, I thought that was just such a beautiful quote of like, we're just raindrops trying to get back to the source, the place from where we came. And it goes on to talk about how, and I hear this a lot too, where it's like those of us that decide to come to Earth, it's viewed from the other side as being like a courageous act. Because it's like, wow, you decided, your soul decided you wanted to come to Earth and experience contrast and experience adversity and experience all of the different emotions and things so that way you could heal, grow, and remember. um, yeah, it's just so crazy. And I say crazy and I say crazy in a very like tongue-in-cheek way, because where I'm going with that is literally the next thing I have underlined is you aren't crazy. um it's like you aren't crazy, you're not crazy. You have just experienced something that has made you unique. It's like discovering a new country with different people and trying to convince everyone that such a place exists. And I starred that sentence because it made me think about like the explorers back in the day, or like Christopher Columbus coming here, or just like in general. Um, I mean, honestly, that was the main one that came to mind, where it was like Christopher Columbus, and I know that there's uh I'll say I am aware that there's like tension with the story around Christopher Columbus and there actually being people here and all that. But I'm not going to get totally into that side of things. I'm just going to address it based on, you know, the I know. Not that colonizer. I know. But I do think about him like as the symbol, or like symbolizing traveling, discovering a new world, even if there's a whole lot wrapped up in there. But like let's say that there's not, for the sake of discussion, that came, discovered a new world, and then had to go back, or then went back and was like, yeah, there's land here. Yes, there are other beings here. Yet, like, I think that's probably the closest you could liken it to some of these like near-death experiences or spiritual experiences, where it's like, I really like the sentiment that I heard from Tony Robbins at one of his like Unleash the Power Within events that I went to last year. But it's like you're not crazy, you're just first. And I feel like that's really relevant here and something to remember too when you're going through these different spiritual experiences. Um, yeah, when you're going through these different spiritual experiences, to like acknowledge that no, you're not crazy, you're just first. You're not crazy, you're just first. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I think there's more. I wanted to say more about, it'll come back. I think it'll come back. Okay. All right. So we are learning that at this point in the story, it only takes so he was pretty much paralyzed. I mean, he was fried, he was so fried. And he's been wearing like welder's goggles because just normal light has been too bright for him to see. But at this point in his healing, he's a couple months out, and he's celebrating that, it only takes him 20 minutes to walk down the hall and get to the bathroom, whereas before, he couldn't make it to the bathroom without soiling himself because it was just like taking him so long. But like he's definitely his physical body is improving. And he's also acknowledging that just being able to share his story with someone who gets it, who has heard other people and can like connect him to other people, or like be in a similar space around other people that have had similar experiences, has been so deeply healing for his own like sense of self, but also like the will to go on. And so he says, oh, hold on, am I to that point, or did I fast forward in my thoughts? I think I fast forwarded my own thoughts, but um, and I think about that message about just being open and being willing to listen to people, and how even just like myself putting myself out here in this regard and talking about my own experiences um is so is so deeply healing, it's nourishing, it's connecting, and it's like takes courage and it takes strength. And the reason I was starting to smile is because there's literally a quote in here that it's like, Moody knows that people love to talk, and that the best way to know the truth about someone is to soak up everything they are willing to tell you. And I just thought that was funny. Because it's just like, I was literally thinking about the concept of the concept of conversation last night. But I was thinking about how, you know, if ever I'm on here and I'm sitting here and I'm like the spider web of information and I'm trying to figure out how to share the story I want to share, it's probably because that's a new thought that I'm trying to create into a like functional sentence or paragraph or story or information that I want to get across. Whereas like if something is more uh, flows more freely from me, then it's like I've probably thought about it before, and I've probably had some amount of like, oh yes, this is exactly how I want to get this across if ever I'm asked about it. And I was also thinking about how I have been someone who, let me think. I'd classify myself as both like an introvert and an extrovert. Like there's definitely times where I'm on and I mean, to be honest, to be streaming, I feel like I got to be pretty extroverted to be like, yeah, let me just go talk to the camera and hope people show up and engage in chat with me. uh Requires some extroversion, but at the same time, like I'm good with like not talking. I'm good with chilling out. If I go into a new setting that I'm unfamiliar with, usually my default is to go into that setting and be like an observer and see kind of the powers at play, just like see what's all happening in the space and who's doing what, um before deciding how I want to, you know, express myself fully in that space. And I mean, sometimes just being more of like that fly on the wall person is me expressing myself fully, because that's just like that's what feels comfortable for me in that time. But there's also times that it's like, if no one, like, if there's an event going on, or if we're in a situation where, like, there's no clear defined leader of, uh, like, taking charge, I'm definitely the person that's like, okay, if no one else is gonna step up, like, let's get things done, people. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know where I was necessarily going with that, but I will say that it is really nice to get to share my own perspective and trust that it's going to find the people that it's meant to find. And I appreciate being able to share my stories because I love my husband, but he doesn't get all of it, and that's okay. um, Maybe he's not meant to, and that's all right. It's all right. I do enjoy having this space to come and interact with you all in in the chat, and just like, yeah. I'm learning that I have a lot of things to say. And I am truly grateful for, this platform and the other social media platforms, whatever, that I have to just be like, this is me. This is what I have to say. And if you're here for it, great. If it bothers you, you know, I think that's also serving a purpose, so great. Uh, and also, if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's okay. Like, you don't have to tune in. Uh, yeah, yeah. And it's just, I guess while I'm still kind of on this like mini talking tangent, the other thing I was thinking about last night was about how, stepping forward, stepping into your story, into your light, into your messages, what you're here to share with the world. There's there's like it's a layered approach. Like, you got to slowly pull back the layers of like finding that safety and comfort, because ultimately, while I love connecting with each and every one of you, I need to be good with myself first and foremost, before, like, I need to make sure that I am nourishing myself and caring for myself, and I'm happy and good with myself, before getting that validation from anyone else. Because it's like, if people like or comment on things, it's like the comments are either going to be someone who is, supporting what you're doing, or what you've done has triggered them in some capacity. And might not necessarily be a nice response. And you, as the person putting yourself out there, and I preach this, but I'm also like, this is definitely, I'm saying this for myself to come back to time and time again. It's just like recognizing that how someone is responding to you has more to do with what they're going through and the pain that they're experiencing, or the judgments or shames, whatever, that they've put on themselves, that they're like projecting onto you, than it does whatever it is that you're doing. That doesn't mean that what they might say doesn't hurt initially, because there's definitely like a survival response that can happen. And I definitely get that sometimes. Every now and again, I'll get it, where I had someone comment on something recently, and like, when I first read it, I was like, whew, like, there's definitely a part of me that's like, I like it definitely will trigger my like want to fight response. But I usually, like, I don't respond right away. I know that that's happening, and I'll take a breath. I'll go move. I'll like go do a power stance. Go put my feet on the ground outside and be like, okay, it's fine. That was just their soul is hurting. That was their cry for help. That doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm good. Like, I love myself. This is all right. And so it's just a process, and it gets quicker and it gets easier the more you do it and the more it happens. So Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely something that it's definitely like a learned skill or a learned yeah, I think a learned skill. Hey everyone, good to see you. Yeah, it's definitely a learned skill of being able to allow comments to and allow the projections of what people are feeling to not take them on. Okay. Am I gonna keep going? I think I'm gonna keep going. That felt good though. That was a nice little a little mini tangent. If you're just tuning in, exactly. It's all about you can only control yourself. So keeping doing what you need to do to care for your energy, your time, your gifts, your state of being. It doesn't mean like it doesn't to me it's like it's not about toxic positivity. It's about like if something does happen and it will, that's just how things go. Like we're human. It's just acknowledging that, if it does happen, getting quicker and quicker and learning how to release that or like figure out what just got triggered or what just got um what sort of like survival mechanism might have just came up for you and just reminding yourself, you're good. You're safe. You're loved, I know who I am. I'm great. I enjoy who I am. I send them so much love and light on their journey and I'll be here to support in whatever way that is. I'm just here to kind of mix up the density, We're just trying to mix up the energy a little bit. uh, and to be honest, this actually goes back to, before I keep going with the book, uh, it goes back to that, like, the conversation about the new world yesterday that we were talking about with, how some are shifting or some, yeah, or some are shifting and some might be staying more in, like, the dense pain and suffering world. And I think I realized last night, because I was meditating and channeling on this as well last night before bed, and I was like, what? I was like, what does this mean to me? And kind of why do I not feel super connected to this like whole new world concept? And for me, I think it's because, and again, this is just for me. So if this resonates for you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But for me, I don't feel like the new world concept uh, fully connects with me and my spirit at this moment in time is because I feel like I am meant to be, straddling the worlds. I'm meant to be a guide, teacher, helper for those that are interested in going to the new world and like helping guide, helping give the information, helping um invite and encourage those that are ready and willing or interested or like slightly curious to go explore that route. Bridge permission slip, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm the gatekeeper. It's just more that I feel like I'm just kind of sitting between the two as a beacon of light that's like, "Hey, I see you over there. It's pretty nice over there. You want to come? You get to choose." Like uh yeah. Lightseeker, the New World. So we were talking about it a little bit yesterday about this concept of there being like a new world or like the energy of like the energy of the earth eventually reaching a point where it's like you're living in the like 4D 5D consciousness versus the 3D consciousness. Um and it's like 4D 5D is like you're living in like the light, the love, the kindness, the compassion, being connected to your intuition and being surrounded by those that are also kind of living in this more like spiritual love light realm. And then the 3D consciousness world or old world is the one that's kind of more stuck in more like pain and suffering, not really wanting to change. Yeah. So that's kind of what was coming up for me. It was just like I think that's why more fear. Yeah. I think that's why I haven't felt overly connected to the full concept of like we're all going to the new world or the thing. And I'm like, I'm over here like, hold on, guys. There's so many more of you that can come. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Mm. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't, oh, how do what I want to say? I haven't done a ton. There's a bunch of different information if you Google like the New World. Um, I know that I feel like I've been having like I feel like I have a new chapter coming for the new Bible that'll probably be about like rapture, the new world, those kind of things, or like timelines, dimensions. Like I know that's coming. I don't think I have the full picture, all the information that I need to write that chapter yet, or for that chapter to be fully like downloaded yet. But I'll let you know when I do. But if you're not already on my newsletter, I do share like highlights on my weekly newsletter if I do write a new chapter. So yeah, I it's funny, but earlier this year, Spirit was basically like, "Here are channeled messages, and you're gonna call this the new Bible." And I was like, "Great, I'm sure this will go over so well." But yeah, it's been fun. I think I've done 8 chapters so far. And they come in different times. They come when they're meant to come, and I write down at the bottom whenever I transcribe them. And sometimes I'll draw little images, or I'll have like images come to mind, and I'll do a sketch and upload the sketch. And some are shorter than others. Like there's one that's very short. it's it's fascinating. I went through and I read it all again, or at least what I've channeled so far recently. I did or like I reread it on the weekend just to kind of like see how things have changed or not, and it's interesting. So go check it out. It's on my site. It's on my website. It's under blogs just because it's easier for me to be able. I wanted to be able to post each chapter as it came instead of waiting until I felt like I had a whole book worth. Maybe I'll turn it into a book later. I don't know. But for right now, they're just individual blog posts. So it is live. Here is. Hold on. Pull it up. There you go. That's what you got. 8 chapters so far. But it's funny. It's a good time. One of the my last one that I wrote or like came through was tenets, chapter 8 tenets to live by. And that one just kind of like made me chuckle with how like simple it is because so many other religions are like here are the commandments, here are all the tenets, here are all the things and like follow this and this and this and this. And Spirit whenever I was writing they're like tenet number 1, be loved. Allow yourself to feel, see, and be loved by us, yourself, and those around you. And tenet number 2 was create. Each of you are divine creators. Go out there in the world and create the world you want to see. That's it. And there's like a little bit more blur, but it was like, those are your tenets. Be loved and create. Oh. So go check it out if it interests you. It's fascinating. I Yeah, like I said, it comes to me or when it comes to me and I record and share as it comes. So, all right. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we got. All right, carrying on with our book again, Saved by the Light. We are in again chapter 9. So we just said people love to talk. The best way to know the truth about someone is basically soak up everything they're willing to tell you, and I love that. Same, agreed. Uh-huh. And then they go on to share about how do I want to yeah, we'll talk about this. So then it's talking about how Danyan had a vision, or like he was shown one of the visions whenever he had his near death experience, that uh, the world would begin to collapse. And he had shared that, we'll be in the Soviet Union when it falls apart. And like both him and Moody, who's, interviewing him and does all this research, will be there and we'll know ourselves that all of this stuff is true. Because he's like I said, he's been getting a bunch of different visions. Like he received a bunch of different visions and predictions of the future and what's to come. And so he does point out that he had the near-death experience in like 1975, and he said the scene that he saw came true. That him and Moody visited Moscow in 1992, just after the collapse of communism, and he was watching like downtrodden Russians line up around the block in hope of entering stores and buying whatever food was available. And they had a moment together in the square where they were like, it was almost 15 years later, and like, this is it. This is the vision from the box that they saw, or that he saw. But he also had other visions of like Chernobyl happening. He saw visions of different wars that happened, but they came to reality. But one of the things that they also pointed out, I don't remember, I haven't gotten to the point yet to determine if all of them have come about or not, but I do remember, hold on, where was I going with that sentence? I do remember earlier in one of the chapters, one of the beings of light was basically saying, like, these things aren't written in stone. Like humans can change or can adjust the future in some capacity. Um, and I was just gonna kind of touch on that briefly because I know I've done some stuff with like future predicting or seeing the future or like meeting my future self and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like it's fun, it's exciting, and also it is good to know that your future, like you hold on, what do I want to say about this? I'm laughing because I've bobbled this one around in my head several times too, or like this is one that I kind of question or go back on. But what stands out to me, or what I feel is true for me right now anyway, or based on the information I have collected, is that yes, we have soul contracts and there are certain like milestone points that we all likely hit, uh, or like meant to hit in our lifetime. There's a bunch of gray area in between that if when a psychic tunes in and you're like seeking help or information in those areas, they might be picking up, I mean, they're picking up that moment in time, like that version of you in moment in time, that future version of you, if like you stayed in that same energy. But we also have free will and are able to affect our futures, if that makes sense. Like how do I want to change that any. I don't know. It does make me think that I need I need to create some symbology with my team to be like, okay, is this future event? Well, usually when I do prediction stuff, I get an idea of like, is this a possibility, a probability, or like, yes, this is a solid, like this is happening. So maybe I don't. Yeah. So whenever you do, like, if you ever do get a reading from anyone who's a psychic or helping you with future stuff, um, I invite you to ask them, is like, is this a possibility, a probability, or like a for sure, like a very, or like how strongly does this event situation feel like it's coming through? And so if it's a possibility, it means like so much you have so much you could do right now that could adjust that outcome, that it's like this is what's feeling the strongest at this exact moment, but like this could very easily change. Probability is usually like, you know, it's like a highly likely, like it's feeling pretty good, like this, like a high probability, that that's the outcome that's going to happen. Where if it's more of like a, oh, like, nah, like this feels really solid, like this feels firmly coming in. uh that can help you kind of gauge, if you liked what you received, you're like, great, I should keep going down the road for this. Or if you didn't like what you heard and it's only like a possibility, well then, you can take action to change that. So yeah, you said you just wait and see and they happen. Yeah. And I've had times too where I don't like getting specific dates on things personally, because it makes my logical mind latch onto that date, and I think that almost puts more resistance in the air than I need, because then I'm like, okay, but this date, something magical is supposed to happen on this date. That just makes things. I think that causes too much extra friction. Whereas like I had like an example for me is like I can usually feel stuff coming in like in the energy before it comes. And so earlier this year, oh, hold on, what do I want to share here? I was like, how much information do I want to put in this video? Give me a second. I'll use this other example instead. So like earlier this year, one of our friends was interviewing for a job, and they reached out to us. We're like in a group chat together, and they reached out and they're like going into an interview, or like they're getting ready to go into the interview. And I remember them like getting that text message, and I immediately was like, they got it. Like I felt it, I heard it. I was like, they got it. Before they even had the interview, I was like, they would have to. I didn't say it to them, and I didn't say it to really anyone. I just made a note to myself. I was like, oh, they totally got this. And it was later that evening they ended up getting like the offer letter for it. Um, and they let us know that they got the offer letter like off after the interview. But I was like, yeah. uh, but I've had other situations with like feeling like money is coming or something like that. I'm like, I don't know when that's coming. I don't need to know when that's coming, but I can feel it like getting close, like that kind of thing. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. Don't give me the date when it's landing. I'm all right. I'm okay to be like, in the next month or two or whatever else, like, all right, it'll happen when it's meant to happen. All right, let's keep going. Can't type. All right, so the next part, you're now on to chapter 10. And this is talking about how basically Danyan, he decided to go work with Moody, or like go work for Moody as like helping him plan all of his events, because his book came out, Life After Life, and then all of a sudden he was getting prompted or reached out to about setting up all of these different like speaking events and whatever else, and he just couldn't manage it um, on his own. And so Danyan went to help him, and it was also nice for Danyan because then he was able to go to different events with them and connect with other near-death experiencers. So, but at this point, he was sharing. So this was the end of 1976, so a little after a year, or it's been over a year since he had his accident or he had his near-death experience. He said by this time, he was no longer needing to wear his welding goggles. He only needed dark sunglasses if he was outside. He could walk with only one cane most of the time. And then I put a star and an LOL by this, where Moody had shared, again, Moody's the doctor, or yeah, and he said, quit thinking you're Jesus Christ and wait until people ask before you start preaching to them about what happened. Because like for a long time, that's what he would do. Is every time a new person would come over or meet him or ask him about his story, he would tell them like verbatim all of the things that he saw and did, and people would just be like, okay. So I put LOL. Like I literally was like, lol. Because it's so true. When you have a profound experience, whether it's a near-death experience or even like a spiritual awakening experience, it can make you like the messaging you can receive can very much make you feel like you are, Jesus Christ, or you're a Messiah, or you're some great all being something or another. And it's like I believe that our team uses that language, or they could potentially use that language to try to help you to tap into your divinity and acknowledging that you are a part of part of the creator source as well. Yeah. I mean, for me, I share some of my story and when I talk about like my Kundalini awakening on like a video on YouTube, but for me, I'm like I was told I was the Messiah. And I understand why people look like I didn't tell very many people, but the couple people that I did tell, they were like, "You need help," and I was like, "No, I'm fine." um, yeah, and it's like I think we all have to go through this like re-remembering that we are connected, we are divine creators, and also learn discernment and learning, who can we share that information with in what capacity, because it's not that we shouldn't share, it's not like I definitely don't think we need to keep quiet. It's just more of like finding your people. Yeah, anyone could be a Jesus or a Buddha. I very much believe that Jesus was just a person who learned all of the different things about spirituality, and he just ascended and he was teaching other people how to, and he worked with energy, and it's like uh and it's funny because it's like Jesus is technically my principal ascended master, so like me and Jesus now are homies. Even though I'm not in the Christian faith anymore, like we're homies. We out here. uh but the important part is like allowing yourself to be seen by others who like know you, and to be heard, and allow your story to be heard, and like not only allowing yourself to open up, but allowing yourself to hold that space for others, or to see other people with like kindness and compassion, and hold them in love as they share their truth, whatever that truth may be, even if it doesn't align with your truth. All my homies love Jesus. um Humanity bros. Yeah. Yeah, I don't I yeah, I love talking to my team like we're just best friends. It's like, nah, we're good. Like, uh, all right. That's funny. That's good. And I remember the first, like, this is, I remember the first time too that I figured out how to connect with my ascended master, or I had been feeling for some time, or I'd been like trying to explore who they might be, or my principal ascended master. And I remember I was trying to figure out for some time, and I was never getting their name, or I think I thought it was like Saint Germain for some time. And then finally, I did my normal like prayer, but I did my opening channel instead of opening it just for like whatever's in the highest and best for myself. I was just like whatever's in the highest and best. Like, I don't know. And I remember when I opened my channel that day, it was like it was like all of a sudden I heard like a bunch of different spirits like whooping and cheering. I was like, yeah, she did it. And it was funny because like uh, yeah, Mary Magdalene or Mary Magdalena, Mary Magdalene. There we go. Uh, came forward, and I remember when she came forward in that like meditation session. I was like, "Where's Jesus?" uh, and then he came forward, and then we had our own interaction and all the things. But it was just funny. It was a good time. Uh, so if you're interested in learning about your own principal ascended master, that's a an option for how to potentially meet them. I don't know. I don't know if that's will work for you, but that's what worked for me. Anyway, we continue. uh, good time. All right. So this chapter that we're on to is all about just like other people's stories of like what happened to them when they had their own near death experience. And I was just gonna share a couple of the ones just because I think it's just interesting. Um, so like one woman, she was rushed to the hospital and they found out her appendix had burst and she had a massive infection in her stomach about the size of a melon. She ended up being in the hospital for over a month, and during that time she went on basically a roller coaster ride to heaven or light or this I don't think they got to the city of light, but she like went into the a tunnel of light. But one thing that she pointed out was that no, she ran through the center of the city and said that the most interesting was that prayers were streaming through this heavenly world like rays of light. And I like that because I think about like I think about that as like connected to like our intention. Another person shared another person shared that whenever they were there, they met someone and they were looking at like they saw a bunch of pictures, and when they were drawn to like one particular picture on their journey, but then they heard like a choir of like 1,000 voices, and they were like, this is the most beautiful music I've ever heard. But then whenever he came back, they were telling their aunt about their experience, and unfortunately like the aunt was basically like, keep that to yourself. Stuff like that can only happen to people who are in touch with the devil. And I highlighted that. Ooh, hold on. I highlighted that one as more of like a. This just makes me sad. uh, share just because it's like just the amount of fear that people have been instilled with. Yeah, the amount of fear that people have been instilled with to not trust, to not trust their own experiences, and to the amount of like disconnection people have been, yeah, also instilled with. Just makes me sad. But they did get to a point later in this chapter that say that, scientists now agree that near death experiences are not dreams, that dreams happen to people who are asleep and are associated with specific brain waves, and that these near death experiences are at least not classified as dreams, which is good. It doesn't mean every doctor acknowledges their validity. One of the things that made me frustrated too reading this was like one person had an experience where they came back to their body, and the doctor was like, "Oh, you should go talk to your minister about that." And then they went and talked to their minister, and their minister was like, "Yeah, you should talk to your doctor about that." I was like, ugh, motherfuckers! Like that was how I felt when I read that. Another person. Okay, here's another story where, let's see. A woman was in a car accident and had to have surgery to try to fuse two of her vertebrae back together. But she said when she went through the tunnel, she came upon a gate that were made of giant pearls. 12 big pearls seemed to glow. Yes, Plumpa. Hell yeah, Zarya. And I just highlighted the word 12 because I remember Danyan was talking about how it was 13 beings of light, but it was 12 at first, and then the 13th was just slightly different. I do think, and I think we've talked about this briefly yesterday or semi recently too, where it's like I believe that the experience you have on the other side is very much dictated by what you believe that it's gonna look like. Like if you've read the Bible, or if you've read some of the other things and what people experience, um, you think, oh, like I was thinking about this with like spiritual awakenings, where someone was like, oh, they had their spiritual awakening and they met a male figure with a cross behind them. It was like, well, they were raised Christian, so it makes sense to me that that in their spiritual awakening, that was the image that came forward for them. Whereas when I had mine, it was, I didn't see anything in that regard. When I met Source, I like heard and felt them, because I just didn't have a I didn't have an image in my mind of what I thought that they might look like. I also didn't really believe them to be a person, a physical like person. And so I do feel like in reading a lot of these stories, or at least a lot of the highlights that they pulled out were uh, what was I gonna say? It's like they feel like they are influenced by what they believe heaven to be, or what they believe that other area to look like. Not that either of them's wrong. Like that's beautiful. That's great. uh, it just is fitting for each of them. The Gospel of the Holy 12. 12 is such a magical number. 12 and 13 keep popping up for me. And I love it. Actually, well, numerology pops up for me anyway, but yeah. The other thing, okay, so the next story that is coming forward, or that came forward, let me see. Okay, so this person, they kept having seizures, all the things, went to the hospital, crossed over, and they said, when they went into the light, they said, this light was more than light. It was made of millions and millions of tiny, diamond-like particles that glittered and had feeling. I knew I was a part of this light. It was made of millions and millions of tiny, diamond-like particles that glittered and had feeling. I knew I was a part of this light. And I put in the margin next to it the little like double diamond sparkle, because that's been a symbol that's come to me that I work with. And really that symbol, I actually ended up putting that symbol up on my new business cards that I just ordered, and also on my new table banner. But that's been a symbol that's come to me as well, or that I really connect with, and I think about, or like when I see that symbol, I see that and I think of like gold flecks, like a gold sparkles, gold diamonds, gold specks that are like more of like that Christ light. It's a very healing light. And I also think of, I see that as like a balance symbol with the fact that there are two there. It feels to me very balanced between like masculine and feminine. Yeah, I think that's complete. That's really what comes to me when I think about the double diamond symbol. I do think it's interesting that most of these people, when they have near death experiences, they are sharing stories that, they don't, they go into the light and they feel how good it feels, and then they're like, I don't want to go back. And there's someone on the other side, whether it's a being of light, a past loved one, something like that, that is ultimately like, it's not your time, it wasn't your time, you need to go. Get back to your body. um, I do think that's really fascinating, but there is this one that they're talking about a woman who was pregnant, and she was having pain under her right side, or under her like right breast. She thought it was heartburn, which, if you're having pain under your right boob, your heart is not there. Your heart is on your left, and heartburn is usually centered or like by your stomach. So just pointing that one out. But she was 6 months pregnant, was having issues, ended up passing out, and she had a near death experience while her body was sent to the hospital. But when she had gone into the light, hold on. When she had gone into the light, she got to see. Oh, hold on. I know I'm jumping around, but I feel like I'm didn't. Did I? Is there a different one? There's another one about a baby. I just want to make sure I. Okay. No, this is a different one. Okay. She goes into light. She doesn't want to come back. She's like, it feels so good. But then the light being showed her what her husband would feel if she had died. And then she felt like the overwhelming amount of like sadness that she would end up putting her husband through if she didn't go back, and so she did. And I thought that was really interesting because most of the time the what's kind of come in here has been like, it's not meant to be your time, you should go back. You still kind of get a choice, but they're like, yeah, you should really go back. Whereas this one was like, it's not your time, and here is here is sadness, or like here is what they would experience. And I just find that to be like really unique from these stories. So that's why I pointed it out. But the good news was that she shared her story with her husband after she got back. And as a result, their relationship became, stronger than ever because he believed her. So um, that was great. The power of just like trusting one another and connecting with one another and sharing with one another is so good. Hey, Lady Palace Athena. All right, we've got, let's see, a couple more pages left. All right, so another person has just highlighted that after a near death experience, they said they chose a helping profession, specifically becoming a nurse, a registered nurse. And I love that too because there was another story in here where someone who had cancer was about to die, had an experience with and I've heard of several of these type of things happening too, where it's like they had a past loved one come to them and basically be like, it's almost your time, it's okay. And that person who's their body is here dying, they'll tell their doctor and the doctor will be like, it's just a dream. Whatever, like, and brush it off and just keep going because the doctor is so focused on, you know, what what the blood work and or machines are saying about the person and not what they're actually saying. But there was a nurse that was in the room when that had happened, and once the doctor left, the nurse like comforted that person and was like, hey, actually, like, what you experienced was pretty normal for like people in your situation. They just like sat and talked about it and connected, and it helped lift their spirit to help them realize, we're okay. Like, you're gonna be okay. You're not crazy. And yeah, it was just beautiful. Do I want to share? Let's see. This was one that was interesting where one person had said that when they had crossed and were in like the hall of knowledge or talking to the spirits, she was being trained on like the system of colors and using her intuition with colors. And so whenever she bought a car, whenever she dressed in the morning, she would base it on some color scheme that was given to her by the beings of light. And the that's all right. And the quote that she says was that we're supposed to come together for something great. She said, I don't know what it is, but I will know when we get together. And color comes into my life a lot too, where at least now, I didn't used to. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm more aware of it now, or I do it more intentionally or consciously now. Whether or not I did it in previous parts of my life, but for the last couple of years, I've been pretty conscious about how I use color, where I use color, even the type of art that I send someone in like a text message and the number of hearts that I use or whatever, like they all represent different things for me. And so even like what I put on, like I am connected with certain energies of the colors in what I'm wearing or what I'm purchasing. And like that's why the boundary books that I have right now are this like deep purple, because it's like a very divine, spiritually like like crown chakra y open, uh like channeling color, like that deep purple, or like that's what I think of. And so yeah, I'm very conscious about using color. And even like I think I've talked about a few other times too, using color or like eating certain colors, like depending on where I'm at in my cycle or just where I'm at in general. Is like I'll go through phases, or I've recognized that I go through phases where I'm like, I'm eating a lot of green foods right now. And actually right now I'm in my like red, orange, beige, brown. Like I don't want a lot of greens right now. I want reds, oranges, browns. So a lot of carbs, a lot of protein. uh and it's just I don't know, I like using color. It feels deeply connective, or like deeply connecting for me. And I think the last little few quotes I'll leave you with on this specific topic is, as they were all connecting to one another and connecting with their different stories, they learned, we were special, not insane. And the final quote was that Daniel said this in a panel discussion. He said, "We are normal people who have had something paranormal happen to us. We are normal people who have had something paranormal happen to us." And I feel like that's just worth kind of leaving there. That's as far as we've gotten in the book. Something paranormal happened to us. Stared into the mirror too long when I was younger. Were you doing, what was it, Bloody Mary? The whole like Bloody Mary, however many times staring at the mirror? Ah. Oh. We're here. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, I'm open to you sharing more if you want to share more about that. 'Cause I I've looked at myself longly in the mirror before. But the only thing that stands out is like there was one time, while I don't do any drugs or alcohol now. I mean, I've tried weed, like that's the most I've ever tried, and I am so sensitive to anything that alters the brain, and so like if there's I very quickly got overwhelmed by it. And I remember whoever I was with, they were like, "Don't look in the mirror." And I was like, "I really need to go to the bathroom." But I looked in the mirror because the mirror was facing the toilet. And then I yelled and I was like, "I looked at the mirror." I was like, "Oh God." Uh, felt a little more expanded. I love that. Oh, all right. Let me see. Hi, Robin. Good to see you again. Everyone, let's do. I think I'll do some readings. I'm feeling reading-ish. I need to get a few things set up or get my camera on my phone set up and replenish my water. So give me like 3-ish minutes. I'll run to the bathroom, change up the things, and we can do some readings. I'll go ahead and open the queue. I don't know if I'm gonna do like in order or I'll jump around. Just a fair warning. I might jump around of just kind of like what feels like it's coming forward. But the queue is open and I will be right back. Ta-da! Alright, I am back. I also, before I get started, want to show you my shorts. Because I got these at a Clothes Mentor, which is like a secondhand consignment store. But they're so fun, and I'm going dancing later this evening, and so I'm just like really excited about them. So, fun. Look at him! Look at the fringe! Alright, thank you. Just needed to share that for a second. Oh my gosh. Emotes are tweaking out. Ah, that was lovely. Okay. They all kind of make me uncomfortable how they're just like... Okay. What are we feeling? We're doing intuitive offerings. Let's see, Spirit. Where are we going? Alright, Mulier. Feels like we're going. You're there. You're there on the top. I'm getting a all systems go for you, so let me see what kind of... What's coming forward for you? Okay. Doing the Black Tarot. Bum-ba-da. Thanks. I need you to send like 3 or 4 more messages just so the little tweaker guys. Pop off. Okay. Alright, Mulier. I was just kind of shuffling to see what was gonna come forward, and I love when this card pops out. Thank you. Okay. And whatever's in the highest and best for Mulier. Are you open to being guide? Well, let me see. Is that what's coming forward? Yeah, this card in this stance, and I'm feeling a lot of nervous energy coming through. There's like excitement, but there's also some nervous energy. This card often represents, or at least what's coming through right now, is this like the merging with your higher self, or bringing your higher self fully into your body. So if you are interested, I would love to kind of guide you on a little meditation. If you feel ready. Alright. There'll be probably a little bit of energy work with this too, but again, this is just like whatever's in the highest and best, but it feels like a merging that's happening for you. So I will be here as a support and a guide. I invite you just take a few deep breaths here, Mulier. Tune in together. whatever's in your highest and best. Sinking in, grounding yourself here. Using whatever visual feels right for you to ground, to anchor into Mother Earth. For me, I'll be putting a harness on my waist, clipping into the earth. And when you're ready, I invite you begin to open up the very top of your head, the very crown of your head, whether it's a flower, a door, a key unlocked. Opening up the crown. Allowing yourself to slowly slip up out the top of your head. Just reminding yourself to take a few deep breaths here. You are safe. You are safe. You're going to be okay. And up, up, up and out. Allow yourself to start to float up and out of the space you are in, above the trees, way up into the clouds. To the atmosphere, to the stratosphere. Above the earth. Into space. Up past the moon, past the sun. Finding yourself coming to a ceiling. A door appears in front of you. I should say a door appears above you. When you're ready, reach out and grab that doorknob. You float on through. You find yourself in a beautiful meadow. The beautiful flowing stream, birds chirping, animals grazing in the distance, sunshine. In the middle of the stream, there are stepping stones. When you're ready, you jump onto the first one. Taking in the scenery around you. Noticing off to your side, higher self appears. Play in the water. They approach. Smiling, joyful. Ready to join you. So you do invite them on to your stepping stone. This is a large stone. There's plenty of space for the both of you. See the next one up ahead. It's a little bit smaller. You both can still fit. You're ready. So you're hand in hand, one at a time. You both jump. The next stone. Starting to look up ahead and see a few more stones ahead of you. The water rush by. Can't quite see where the water goes or where it ends. Continue. Onto the next stone together. You and your higher self, each stone getting a little bit smaller. You and your higher self getting a little bit closer. Yourself to play with the water. Joy. Next stone is a little bit further out. Require a little bit bigger of a jump. Get there, you and your higher self will have to be right up next to each other, practically holding hands or hugging one another. When you're ready, I invite you to make that jump. The next stone. In yourself that you are safe, you're loved. You are going to be okay. In with yourself, with your soul. Confirming or affirming within. You want this, if you do want this. The next stone is a little bit smaller. You and your higher self step together. Not fully amongst or within one another, but starting to mesh, starting to blend, starting to dance together. Step onto the next stone. This stone's a little different. You notice now that in front of you there are no more other stones. Instead, there's a beautiful, magnificent waterfall. It goes off into the cosmos below. You look to your higher self. Feel their strength. Feel your strength. Feel their love, their protection. You know it's almost time. Almost time for the final step. Here you are, inviting your higher self merge with you, become one with you, to be fully integrated with you. And upon that final step, you'll become one. We're gonna count you down. Starting at 3, take a deep breath. Feel the nerves, feel the excitement, feel the joy, feel the courage, feel the strength. Feel the beauty that is you, that is around you, that you are becoming. 2, take another deep breath. yourself deep within your chest, feeling them take up space. Feeling them walk into you, be with you, be one with you. Finding a home within your body, your protector. I say the final number, that jump. Got this. You're strong, you're brave, you are beautiful, you are kind, you are caring, you are compassionate, you are love, you are loved, you are whole. You are complete. One jump. Soak it in, soak the joy in, soak the thrill in. Start to feel a beautiful cloud, a beautiful leaf, beautiful blanket, a pillow, whatever feels right for you, coming underneath you, catching you. Drifting you back down, nice and slow. Through the ether, through the stars. Through the galaxies, through the universe. And slow, floating back down. Starting to come back, passing our sun, passing your moon, reaching the top of the Earth's atmosphere, drifting like a beautiful leaf in the wind, nice and slow, through the different layers. On a beautiful lily pad, going back down through the clouds. Finding your home, your space, wherever your body is. Back into that space. Finding the top of your head, allowing your feet first. Slide back in. Inviting you to take a few deep breaths here. Start to reconnect with your body, your protector. Inviting that door, that flower to close on the top of your head. That feels right for you. Bringing your hands onto your body, starting to connect with your skin. Feels right. Opening your eyes, bringing your gaze again. Your body first and foremost. To connect with each part of yourself, finding every nerve ending. Arms, your chest, your heart, Your face. Back of your head. Back your hip. Finding home in your home, in your body. Take your time coming back to chat whenever you're ready. I'll go ahead and send your energy back to you now, Moulier. Call my energy back to me. Thank you for sharing your time, energy, and gifts with me today. Send you, your community, your country, and your world so much love and light. Welcome back. Welcome back. Giving you just a minute or two. Let me see where I want to go next. Because, like I said, I might not do the list in particular order today. Just kind of going where the energy's flowing, you know. You're welcome. If you feel comfortable or you feel interested or open to it, I welcome any shares on how that was for you, what you experienced, or maybe what you're experiencing now. And if not, if you're just like, nah, I'm blissed out, I don't wanna, I'm good, then by all means, that's all right. Hey Robin, good to see you. That's okay, Moulier. Thank you for stopping in. Take care of yourself, nourish yourself. You're gonna be okay. And I'm here as support too. So I send you so much love and light. All right. All right, Robin. Yeah, we're feeling your next. See you later emote. I'll make a note. I've been recording notes for additional things to add, so. Okay. You only have 5 minutes lunch. 5 minutes lunch. 5 minutes left. Okay. I appreciate you letting me know. I hope to see you again, or just keep lurking. I'm sure we'll get to you next time. But thank you. I'll go ahead and remove you then from the queue. Okay, let's see. Okay, Plumpa Papa, you still with me? Yeah. I appreciate you stopping in though on your lunch, Robin. Good to see you. Alright, Plumpo, whatever is in your highest and best. Let's see what's coming through. We're using the Black Tarot deck this week. Oh. You too. Or at least today, I should say. Maybe not this week. Or maybe that misspeak was true. Maybe that's what they want me to use. Ooh, enjoy. All right. Interesting. Interesting. Get these all in time. Maybe. Sort of. All right. Where are we going? Oh, actually, let me. Whatever's in the highest and best for. I'm just giving it a second because typically I go one by one, but it doesn't feel like this is meant to be looked at as an individual card. Like it feels like there's I gotta look at the whole thing for the whole image. But I guess I'll point out what cards they are. So just since you probably can't see it very clearly. So this is the Page of Wands reversed, the Nine of Spheres reversed, the Tower card, which is 14, Two of Cups, Six of Wands reversed, and the Lovers also 4. No, I'm sorry. It's 16 and 6. Gotta remember what direction the Roman numeral add versus subtract goes. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this card because this is where we're going first. Or at least that's kind of where my eyes just keep wanting to be drawn with all of the imagery. And I just keep getting this sensation of like a lot of this energy from above like coming in, like pouring down. I actually kind of love that this one's in the middle and the top because it's just like this sensation of like all of this information, all of the different things for you just like coming into a point, like the energy is building, the energy is yeah, it's just like this coming to fruition, but it's like it doesn't feel like you're projecting out yet. It feels like it's you're in that information gathering slash stuff is like filtering in right now. Like there's still a lot of like energy pouring into you, energy. Ooh. Taking a deep breath because I feel it very, very strongly coming into the heart space. A lot of energy pouring into the heart, a lot of love, a lot of support pouring into the heart. Helping move this a little bit. Okay. Alright, so after that, we have like energy pouring into the heart. Oops. And then I'm kind of getting highlighted with this card, and there's the electricity. Like these strike of lightning. It was, at first, I was like, I feel like lightning, but then I'm like, I don't know, I kind of see like a sidewalk or like a stoop, or just kind of like feeling like the edge of a like brick over here. But I feel like there's like a gap in the brick right here that I feel like I need to highlight. Yeah, I feel like I need to hold the card this way to like fully... And I'm hearing that like childhood rhyme of like, step on a crack, you break your mother's back. Like it just feels like I'm looking at a sidewalk. Just reminding you to take a deep breath. A lot of energy coming into the heart, into your chest. I come over here to the Lover's card. And I'm just feeling there's a lot of love pouring in. There's a lot of, like, a very strong and also warm, like, nurturing embrace coming through. Did you lose your mom? Or am I just feeling like, I just feel a lot of, like, motherly energy coming through. Okay. We're just helping with some heartache, some transmuting energy. This is just feeling like they're helping bring through the feeling of love and being hugged and being supported, and I can feel the sadness like coming through. That's just kind of why it's go. Next one, Six of Wands. Actually kind of like that we're doing this clock situation going on. I feel like they're bringing in a joke right now, but it's because it's just like, maybe this connects for some other reason, but it's like they're really highlighting the butt. of the person on this card. Which I guess I could see it might look like a 3 if I turned my head sideways. But I just kind of laugh at be like, hey, check out them buns. Like that was. You're like, this is getting too heavy, too serious. Here's some butts. Like, here's a butt. The next card is the Two of Cups. Doesn't want to focus on it, but that's alright. And I really get highlighted with... Oh gosh. What if I... Hold on. It's so delicate. Okay. There we go. I really get highlighted with the masculine feminine symbol coming through like the chest of this. And that to me is feeling like a reminder of like the masculine and feminine energy that lives within, that is source, that is us, that is you, that is all of us. The final card, Page of Wands. Really go... Get highlighted with this spot right here. This kind of more cracked. I see this crack going like right here. The shadow, but I'm like really highlighted this specific, really thin hairline crack. Super fine line. Alright, let me see if there's any other information for you with this reading. Okay, that feels complete. Do you have any questions for me before I send your energy back? Just kind of feels like we're here to be supportive, send some energy your way, pour some energy into you, pour some love into you. And then a little joke over here. A little reminder, and I'm not really sure what the crack might mean for you, but I trust that will become clear for you in the time it's meant to, if it doesn't. Plumpa, I'll go ahead and send your energy back to you now. Call my energy back to me. Thank you for sharing your time, energy, and gifts with me. And I send you, your community, your country, and your world so much love and light. Namaste. All right. You're so welcome. Alright, G-Rock Blues, are you still with me, my love? So if there's anyone new, any lurkers, welcome. I'm your local shaman, Lady Lighthouse. Welcome to the Light Network. Glad to have you lurking. Perfect. Thank you for confirming. Whatever's the highest and best for G-Rock Blues. Feels like we're doing some readings with energy work today, which is nice. Okay. I was just kind of laughing, because I just thought that it was more of a laugh out of coolness than anything, because you got the King of Wands reversed and Queen of Wands reversed, but I just thought it was cool that you got both the wands and the like king and queen version of them. Okay. Let's see if I can. Freaking love these cards. Okay. Highest and best for rock blues. Looking at the King of Wands first. For popping in, Sesh Groove. Good to see you. Hope you sleep well. It's interesting because usually when I read my cards, or at least the love deck, it doesn't really matter if they're reversed or not. But for some reason I feel like I need to point out or like highlight that they're reversed. They're reversed and also they're in like the opposite position that I would think them to be in, because the feminine is more on the left side, masculine's more on the right side. At least that's kind of how I've come to know or interpret energy for me. And so this to me is feeling like I say this kindly, but it's like I feel like your masculine and feminine energy is a little out of whack right now. Like it is the divine feminine and divine masculine, but it's just feeling like they're yeah, I don't know another word, or like the only word that's coming to mind is like you're just a little bit out of whack right now. That said, yeah, it was like that said, I would happily be of assistance in this moment if you're interested in receiving some energy, or receiving kind of like a little balancing. Could not hurt. Okay. Well, give me like a yes or no. Like, yes, you're good with it, or no, because if you're not, then I'll just be like, I'll just send your energy back. Just because I like explicit consent. Thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll just do a little energy balancing. So, I invite you to take a deep breath with me, G-Rock Blues. Tune in together. Where do I even want to start? Hold on, let's go down here first. Taking a few deep breaths, kind of grounding out any energy that's ready to move on its own. Go into Mother Earth to be composted, and whatever serves the highest and best. Get it down. Pulling out this excess energy, sending it into Mother Earth, out of your feet. basically what I'm doing right now, or what I'm imagining. You can keep your eyes closed if that feels right for you. Just allowing that energy to weave up you, helping it weave up, back down. Turning at your feet. Energy flowing both sides. The energy back to its respective side. Circling here at your feet, specifically your left foot, helping pump that excess energy into Mother Earth. Sending it out, letting it go, and the light to come in, allowing the Reiki energy to come in. Letting it leave the left leg, leave that left leg. Left ankle, that left shin, a foot, and into the earth. Inviting you to take another deep breath, turning to another weaving, another balance across your entire energy system. Sending out the left leg again. Starting at the left hip, coming all the way down the leg. Carrying it out. Carrying it out of the left hip, out of the left thigh, left knee, left hip, outside of the leg. Sending it down. Finding yourself to breathe, what feels comfortable. Feel like you need a yawn. I invite you to take a yawn. Feels complete for now, so I'm gonna go ahead and send your energy back to you now, G-Rock Blues. Call my energy back to me. Sharing your time, energy, and gifts with me, and I send you, your community, your country, and your world so much love and light. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for receiving. Just like, I guess I talked too gently. You're welcome. I hope I didn't blast out your ears by tapping on the microphone. Just noticed that I've had a couple instances of dropped frames, so I don't know if Spirit's doing things with me today or not, but Alright. Ooh. I'm gonna take a little stretch break. Stretch break. And then we'll get to you here momentarily, Lightseeker. But, But anyways, if anyone else wants to join me, a little stretch break. There we go. Hydration check. Thank you. We'll drink some water, everyone else. If you're lingering, you're lurking, drink some water. Good thing, good thing. If there's anyone new lurking, welcome. Glad to have you. I'm your local shaman, Lady Lighthouse. I'm also realizing I didn't turn my little offerings timer back on, so I will back on so people can see what the offerings are, / my consent. There you go. But yeah, alright. We're just gonna stretch for a second, because I feel just a lot in my back. I've been doing some stuff on my own ever since our conversation yesterday with Zarya. I was kind of thinking about, or I was looking into like spinal energetics, and then I went and did, or I felt like, oh, I just needed to go and meditate or like lay with my back up on my table or like face down on my table, so that way I could allow my team to work on me. And so I did a little spinal energetic session on myself / was guided to do some on myself last night, and I did some more this morning. So that's been good. We're moving lots of energy in the spine and the back. Ugh. Good. I have a spot like, because I feel like the work that's being done, at least for me, has been on like my low back and my hips to try to help balance that, because I've kind of sat funny for a long time, because I think my body was compensating with like my muscles or whatever in my pelvic floor, or issues with like endometriosis or whatever in the past, and so I kind of like got this like little kink situation going on where I was always sitting one way. I think I had one chiropractor one time say that one of my legs is longer than the other, which may or may not be true. So that doesn't help. But then there's like an area in my like upper back where, like right by my shoulder blades, it's kind of like in the, if you visualize like where like you imagine wings would be on a person, like that's kind of where it feels like it is. But also the upper back is a lot of where you hold like masculine wounds or like father wounds is kind of up there in that upper middle back. So there's just a lot of like love and light pouring into that area. It's been nice. Might even, whenever I wrap up here, might do another little session on myself, because it's been enjoyable. Okay, let's see. You are next, Lightseeker. I'm just taking a second to stretch it out. We are in alignment to do a reading for you, Lightseeker. It doesn't feel like cards, which makes sense why I might be standing. The cards. Sometimes when we're about to like ground in our power, I gotta stand up for it. Slash, you're about to whoever I'm guiding or leading is about to ground in their power. I kind of gotta stand up for it. So, no, you're good. Are you ready to get started? All right. I invite you to stand up. Let me know when you stand up. A little bit different this time. Perfect. All right. We're gonna get a little confrontational here for a second, but it's welcomed. It's in good fun, and it's to help you kind of channel your energy and like channel your power back to you. So that's my caveat warning, but that's kind of what's coming through. And I'll probably back up from the microphone a little bit because I will try not to blast out anyone's ears. Oh my gosh, I'm just laughing because I know my husband's downstairs working, so this will be fun. This will be good. All right. Are you okay? Actually, before we get started, are you in a place that you can say, like, speak out loud? Or, like, are you alone in your space, or are you somewhere that you, like, need to be quiet? Because that might have to dictate. In a middle voice. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's just do it. All right. Whatever's in the highest and best for Lightseeker. I bet you take a few deep breaths here. Gonna tune in together. All right. Perfect. In whatever voice you can, I want you to say to the camera / say to me, I own you. I own you. Just repeat after me. I own you. No, I own you. No, I own you. I own you. No, I own you. What you gonna do about it? I own you. No, I own you. Let me hear it. I own you. You can do better than that. Let's go. I own you. No, I own you. Come at me, bro. I own you. No, I own you. Yeah? Do ya? Stand up tall. Roll your shoulders back. Hands on your hips or whatever feels right for you. Stand strong. I own you. Feel your strength. Feel the power. Feel your power. Feel your groundedness. Feel your rootedness. I own you. Feel the fire rising. Does it make you want to snarl? I own you. Hmm? No. I own you. Hmm. Hmm. Feel your chest up high, your chin up, shoulders rolled back. Strong, sturdy, steady. You are courageous. You are a warrior. You are strength. You're a fighter. You're a lover and a fighter. You're powerful. I see your power. I honor your power. I see your strength. I honor your strength. See your fight. I honor your fight. You are strong. You are powerful. You are powerful beyond measure. You're a power for good. A fighter for love. Fighter for love. Fighter for life. Fighter for light. You are good. You are strong. You are good. You are loved. You are love. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. Take a deep breath. Right. Enjoy that energy. Stay in that as long as you like. And whenever you need to return to that, embody that stance. Whatever stance that you just took, make that your stance. You need to return to being grounded, to being in your power. Make some movement. Return to that stance. Feel your strength. Feel your power. You are powerful. You are capable. You are whole. You are complete. Send your energy back to you now, Lightseeker. I call my energy back to me. I send you, your community, your country, and your world so much love and light. Thank you for sharing your time, energy, and gifts with me today, and playing in this way. It was good. Thank you. Namaste. And if there's anyone else that was tuning in and listening that got a little fired up in there and need to shake it out, just shake it out. You're so welcome. But you're like I enjoy the like my fighter energy. I enjoy when that comes forward, and also you know, let's loosen it up. Come back. Shake it out. Head go. If you can. Doesn't hurt your neck. Do what's right for your body. That feels kind of nice. I'm gonna do that a little bit longer, I think. Just like... I am a wacky inflatable arm man now. Ooh. That choked on my own spit. Okay. Taking it out. Letting it go. Letting it go. Letting it go. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. Go SpongeBob. Start doing the like slappy. That's good. That's really what you all came for. You're welcome. That's good. Let's see. Let's see. What do I want to do? I think let me turn. I'm gonna turn this off. And good. I'm gonna put on one song just to, you know, have fun, dance to, and then I'll probably end my stream for today. So if anyone wants to have a little mini dance party, we're gonna do one song of mini dancing. One song dance party. Let's see what's our what song's really gonna give us the vibes. Let's see. All right, it feels like we're gonna throw some ass. It feels so good to throw some ass. Okay. All right. One song dance party. Join in if you want to join in. This just loosen up whatever energy, have a little fun, and we'll sign off. So should I mute myself? I don't know. Let's just see what happens. All right, loves. That was amazing. Okay. Thank you for everyone who tuned in, who joined in, who share their time, energy, and gifts with me. I'm grateful. As always, I'm your local shaman, Lady Lighthouse, and this is the Light Network. I look forward to seeing you again next time. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you tuned in. All right. I'll see you again soon. Bye, loves. Go drink some water. And maybe get your feet in the ground, in the grass. Okay. All right. Bye. What am I doing? I don't know. Bye, my loves. There we go.